Adobe Acrobat Accessibility Training. Adobe, Acrobat, and PDF are often used interchangeably. Adobe is the company, Acrobat is the product or application, and PDF is the format. Whichever way you call it, this presentation will cover how to make these types of documents accessible. PDF is a universal format for electronic documents. It works very well in many different platforms, including mobile devices. Acrobat, the application that supports the PDF format, has built-in tools to help optimize accessibility in PDF files. Acrobat doesn't produce its own PDF files. It's not like we can go to File, New, and create a PDF file within Acrobat. The PDF files are from other programs or sources known as native files. Native files are important to PDFs because that is where accessibility should start. Producing accessible native files will produce accessible PDFs. Accessibility from most sources like Word and PowerPoint export to PDFs. In Microsoft, use the accessibility checker to find and fix accessibility issues before converting the document to a PDF. Fix accessibility issues in native Microsoft Office will save you time by not having to refix the issues in PDF. The accessibility enhancements will be preserved for next time when you edit the document. Some accessibility issues need to be fixed in native files, like links to make them descriptive if needed, and adjusting color to meet accessible color standards. Use the best method to export headings, alt text, and other accessibility enhancements to produce an accessible tagged PDF. Tags provide the document structure for screen readers. A tagged PDF is usually referred to an accessible PDF because the tags are the foundation for the PDF to become accessible. Tags are the elements that create the structure in the PDF and help the screen reader with the reading order, reading of the alt text and images, paragraph text, and headings. Tags can be found by opening the Tags button on the left side navigation pane. If you don't see the Tags icon button, right-click anywhere on the navigation pane and select Tags from the menu. Clicking on the Tags button icon will open the Tags pane on the left side. The content that appears on the document will also be in the Tags pane. The tag should also follow the logical reading order of the content. If no tags are present, it does not mean the PDF will not have content. It will only mean screen readers will not be able to read the content. Having tags on your document depends on how the native file was exported to PDF. There are many ways to export to a PDF. The correct method usually involves saving the document to a PDF. In Microsoft Office, use the Save As Adobe PDF function. Go to File, select Save as Adobe PDF from the left side menu options, and this will create the tagged document that retains accessibility, is assistive technology ready, and overall accessible. In other applications, you might have to use a similar export method. Sometimes this involves exploring different methods to produce that best accessible PDF. The incorrect methods usually involve printing or scanning to a PDF. This produces image-only PDFs. No tags are created. The text is usually layered on the document and can't be selected or read by screen readers. And it takes a lot of effort and time to make them accessible. Sometimes the document is just impossible to make accessible. PDFs come in all sizes and types. Yes, different types of PDFs. And not all types are created accessible. Some of the different types of PDFs that exist are PDFs that are exported from documents, usually from Microsoft Word. There's also printed PDFs and scanned PDFs, which are not produced accessible, but most times can be fixed to be accessible. PDF portfolios. These are collections of different PDFs compiled into one file. If the PDFs were accessible before becoming part of a portfolio, the PDF will stay accessible. Adobe Form Designer or Lifecycle Forms. Adobe Forms can be made accessible most of the time if they are saved as static PDFs. Dynamic PDF forms might have functions that makes the form inaccessible. And PDFs can also be produced by Google Docs. These types of PDFs are not accessible and can't become accessible. This is one of the reasons why Google Docs are not a TEA standard format for files or documents. The only thing these types of PDFs have in common is that they end in .pdf, which is why it's hard sometimes to distinguish the different types of PDFs. But all efforts should be taken to make all types of PDFs accessible. The first thing you want to do in Adobe Acrobat is make sure you have the accessibility tools available. By default, Acrobat will not have the accessibility tools displayed with the rest of the tools on the right side panel. Go to the tools located as a tab at the top of the application. This will open all Acrobat tools. Find and select Accessibility. Click on its drop-down button and select Add Shortcut. This will now make the accessibility tool appear on the Tools panel all the time. The Make Accessible Action Wizard is a built-in tool to help make PDFs accessible. The wizard will guide you through a series of steps that are essential to make a PDF accessible. It can be used for PDFs that need to become accessible and don't have native files. The wizard will scan the document for the common elements that need the accessibility improvement. The wizard can also be added to the Tools pane like the Accessibility tool. To start the wizard, click the Action Wizard from the Tools pane. Then select Make Accessible from the action list. Click the Start button. The wizard will provide a series of windows for you to enter and select different options. The first one is for the document title. Uncheck the box and enter the correct title in the title field. If the title field is already populated, make sure it's the correct title of the document. Click OK. The next window will be for general settings. Leave all options as default. Click OK. The wizard will ask if the document is a form. For this example, we'll click No, skip this step. Next, the wizard is asking the language of the document. If the language is different than English, select it from the drop-down and click OK. In the next step, a small window will appear to properly tag all figures. This window will guide you through all the images found on the document. By default, the first figure on the document is selected for review. It lets you know this by stating the image you're on. In this example, image 1 of 4. If the image is decorative, select Check the Decorative Figure checkbox. If the image is conveying information, enter its alt text in the text field provided. Move to the next figure by selecting the right arrow. You can select the left arrow too to go back to a figure you reviewed. Once there are no more figures to review for alt text or mark for decorative, the right arrow will be grayed out. Click the Save and Close button. The last step of the Action Wizard is to run an accessibility check on the document. Leave all the settings as is on the window and click Start Checking button. Acrobat has built-in accessibility tools to help remediate PDFs. To access the accessibility tools, click on Accessibility from the right side Tools pane. The Accessibility panel opens and displays the different options or tools. Also notice the main tools are now minimized all the way to the right of the pane for easy access to switch to other tools. You can also close the accessibility tools by clicking the Close button at the top of the pane. Let's review the accessibility tools that are available in Acrobat. Auto Tag a document is used to automatically create or recreate tags for a PDF. It can be a great tool for retagging a badly converted PDF without a native format, but it can also sometimes create more work or issues. It removes all alt text and removes decorative selections on all images. Be cautious when using it. The reading options lets you configure how a screen reader should read PDFs. This is an Acrobat global setting for all PDFs and not for particular PDFs. This accessibility option should be left as default and not used. Screen readers most times can overwrite this setting. Accessibility check or full check is to start the checker. This checker is different from Microsoft checkers, but both have the same concept of finding common accessibility issues that should be fixed. The accessibility report is a way to open the latest results from the accessibility checker in a detailed format. Identify form fields automatically creates form fields if your PDF is a form. Set alternative text will automatically detect all figures and allow you to review, add, or edit all text on each figure. Setup Assistant is a setting like the reading option setting to help configure assistive technologies. Leave this setting as default. The reading order is probably the most helpful tool in Acrobat to help you fix most accessibility errors. It allows you to create tags for content or edit existing tags on the document without doing any work in the tags pane. To start checking the accessibility of a PDF, open Accessibility Tools and select Accessibility Check or Full Check. This will open the Accessibility Checker window. By default, the checker will have all the checkpoints checked. It's recommended to always have all these checkboxes selected and leave other settings in the window as is. The checker options window will always appear when you start the checker, and all the settings should stay the same as you last left it. Click Start Checking to start the check. The results will show on the left side Accessibility Checker pane. Depending on the size of the document and the amount of errors it finds, that will determine how long it takes for the results to appear. The Accessibility Checker panel will display accessibility results from the latest check into categories. The document category will show any accessibility errors on the actual document, not the content. A typical issue will be a title error. This happens when a document is missing the title from the properties. Or a language error when the document's language is not set to help screen readers adjust and read the content in the correct language. The other categories relate to content and their names are straightforward on the types of errors they are. The accessibility checker results will be classified by the following: pass for items that meet accessibility standards, skip by user for items that were not checked because the user decided to remove or uncheck checking options before the start of the check, needs manual check for items that can't be checked because the checker is limited on some capabilities like checking color for color contrast, failed items that did not pass accessibility standards. Although some errors are critical than others, the same type of effort should be used to fix all errors on the document. There are other helpful features in Acrobat that can help with accessibility. Reflow, a feature that presents content of the document in a single column. This is helpful to verify the reading order of a document. To use it, click on the view from the menu bar, and then on Zoom. The submenu will open and select Reflow. This will change the view of the document to show the order of the content screen readers will use. This does not make any actual changes to the document. It's just a different way to view it. To go back to the original view, repeat the steps. Go back to View on the menu bar. Select Zoom and click on Reflow again. Also, if you close the PDF in this view, it will open in the original view next time. Also, Readout is the other tool that can be helpful. It's a built-in text-to-speech tool that stimulates a screen reader by reading the text and all the alt text on images. To use it, go to the view on the menu bar. Select Read Out Loud and click on Activate Read Out Loud. At this point, nothing happens, but the feature is activated. If you click on some content, Acrobat will read the text back to you. A better way to utilize this tool after you activate it is to have a page read automatically or the whole document. This will allow you to hear if the content reads correctly as intended for screen readers. To do this, go to the view on the menu bar, select Read Out Loud, and now select one of the options, Read this page only, or Read to end of document. When you click on one of those options, the readout function will start reading automatically. To stop the readout function, go back to View, Read Out Loud, and deactivate it. A document must have a title and a set language in the document properties to be considered accessible. If one or both properties are missing from a PDF, the accessibility checker will mark them as errors in the document category. The language will need to be set so screen readers can read the content in the right language back to the user. To fix this issue, go to the Accessibility Checker panel, right-click on the error, and select Fix from the menu. A small language window will appear. Select the correct language of the document from the drop-down and click OK. The language will now be seen as passing. The title can be fixed the same way. In the Accessibility panel, right-click on the title error and select Fix from the menu. A window will appear with the title section. Uncheck the Leave As Is checkbox in the title section so the title field becomes enabled. Enter or paste the title of the document in the field and then click OK. The title is now also showing as passed. When a title shows as passed after a check, you will still need to verify the title. Sometimes the titles pass the accessibility checks but are using incorrect titles. On the menu bar, go to File and select Properties. The Document Properties window opens. Under Description, you will see the title field. If the title is incorrect, update the title and click OK. If the title is correct, just click OK. The reading and tab order of a PDF must be in the correct logical order so screen readers can easily navigate and read the document. Screen readers rely on the tab key of the keyboard to navigate. If the tab order fails on a PDF, the screen reader will not be able to navigate the content in the correct order. The tab order needs to follow the same order as the document structure. To fix all the pages with the tab order error at once, in the Accessibility Checker panel, right-click on the tab order failed. Select Fix from the menu, and you might get a message that tells you it was completed successfully. Click OK. The tab order will show passed. If the tab order passes on a PDF, the tab order follows the document structure, as it should, but we now need to make sure the structure or tags are in the correct reading order. Click on the Order Panel button on the left navigation pane. Expand the arrow next to a page to see the reading order of that page. The reading order on the Order panel should follow the same order as the content on the document. In this example, a subtitle is before the main title of the document, and then the main body reads after. In order to fix the reading order, click and hold the content that needs to be reordered, drag the content to the correct place in the hierarchy, and release. The reading order is now correct. Use the Reading Order tool to quickly add and edit tags. It will help you fix many accessibility errors on a PDF. The Reading Order tool is found as Reading Order in the Accessibility tools. The tool opens as a window with many buttons used to tag content. It can fix many accessibility issues found on the document, like providing access to the Reading Order panel to reorder the content, add or edit headings, add or edit tables and table headers, tag images or combine multiple images into one, add or edit alt text for images, and can also be used to remove non-essential tags from the structure like empty paragraph breaks or even decorative images. Tags that are added or modified with this tool only affect the tags in the structure of the document. It does not alter the appearance of the document. When the reading order is selected, it places regions or blocks around tag content. This is to show you in a visual way how the PDF is tagged. The Reading Order tool lets you see the tags in the reading order. It places numbered labels on the top left of each tag. The Reading Order tool also gives you the option to see the tags by structure. Use both options when working with the tool. The switch can be done at any time when the reading tool is selected. It is important to know that when working with the Reading Order tool, any changes done with the tool can't be undone. You will need to tag the content back the way it was before you made the change, or close the PDF without saving the document so you can lose all the unnecessary changes you made. Another tip is to save PDFs often when working under accessibility. I recommend saving the document every time you fix a page with accessibility issues. The Acrobat application can crash and lose all your fixes. Crashes are most likely to occur if the PDF is a large file. It would be a good idea to save a copy of large PDFs before fixing the accessibility issues, in case a crash corrupts the PDF you're working on. Headings create the structure screen readers need to navigate a document. The best way to add or edit tags is with the Reading Order tool. Let me show you how to add content with the Reading Order tool. Open the tool and move the cursor over the text that needs to be a heading. The cursor changes to a crosshair cursor. Then click and drag over the text. The text is selected. Now select the structure type tag it should be. In this example, it will be tagged as a heading 2. The heading 2 button on the Reading Order tool is clicked, and the content on the document is now tagged as a heading 2. In this example, we tag the heading, but it's the same process to select and tag content for paragraph text, figures, tables, or even background elements. To change an already tagged content, move the cursor over the tag label. On the top left, the cursor now changes to a hand. Click the label and the cursor changes to a closed hand. This means the tag has selected that tag. Move the cursor back to the reading order tool and select the tag it needs to be. In this example, we'll change it to a heading 1. And it changes on the document. Appropriate nesting failed is a typical heading error on PDFs. This is when headings are not nested or tagged in the correct order they need to follow. In this example, the title is tagged as a heading 2, but there's no heading 1 available. This is the error that appears on the accessibility checker panel. Use the reading order tool to change the heading from heading 2 to heading 1 and run a full check again. The error might still appear even though you made the change. This is because there is another heading on the document that is now nested incorrectly. In this example, heading 3 is the heading flagged as the error because heading 2 is now skipped. Use the reading order tool to change it to a heading 2. Another way to edit heading tags is in the Tags panel. Right-click on the error in the Accessibility Checker panel. Select Show in Tags panel from the menu. The Tags panel opens on the right side. Right-click on the selected tag and select Properties from the menu. The Properties window opens and select the correct heading from the drop-down, in this case heading 2. Then click the Close button. The heading is now tagged correctly in the Tags panel and on the document. Run the Accessibility Checker one more time to verify all headings are nested correctly. All content conveying information in a PDF needs to be properly tagged. Tag content that fails means informative content on the document is not tagged. When you open the reading order tool, you might be able to see some content that is not tagged. The Accessibility Checker panel will also have these items as errors. In this example, it's text that show up as errors, but it can also be other types of content or a combination of different types of content. Also, multiple errors might show up for different parts of a figure, a table, or in this example, the whole sentence. With the reading order tool, select the content that needs to be tagged. And then tag it as needed. The content becomes tagged and the errors should now pass. Alt text can be added or modified with the reading order tool. When an image has no alt text, a label over the image that says Figure, no alt text exists will be seen over the tag when the reading tool is open. You can click on the figure in the Accessibility Checker panel to select the figure on the document and know which figure is in question. With the reading order tool open, right-click on the figure and select Edit in the alt text. An alt text window will appear. Enter the proper alt text and click OK. The figure now shows part of the alt text you entered. If you need to edit existing alt text on a figure, follow the same process. With the reading order tool open, right-click on the image, select Edit Alt Text, change the existing alt text, and click OK. A quick way to rerun the Accessibility Checker for only certain items is to right-click on the error on the Accessibility Checker panel. On the menu, select Check Again. The Accessibility Checker rechecks this error only. Another way to check, add, and edit alt text is by using the Set Alternate Text tool. When you use it, you might get a window to notify you it will start doing its job. Click OK. The Set Alternate Text window opens and selects a figure on the document. In this example, it selected image 1 of 1 as stated on the window. It will always provide the count and select the first image it finds on the document when it starts. If the figure is decorative, check the Decorative Figure checkbox. If the image needs alt text, enter proper alt text in the alt text field. Use the top arrows to navigate to next images or back to a previous image. When the right arrow is grayed out, there are no more images to review. Click Save and Close. Sometimes when you use this tool, some images will already have existing alt text or be marked decorative. This is the time you can edit the alt text or it's important you don't add alt text and mark an image decorative at the same time. This can cause other types of alternate text errors on the document. Use the Reading Order tool to tag tables and apply table headers. For tables that are not tagged, open the Reading Order tool. Select the entire table on the document and then select Table on the Reading Order tool. Acrobat tags the table and adds table headers to the first row. When tables need table headers, the Accessibility Checker panel will show headers as failed. With the Reading Order tool, select the table. Then select Table Editor on the Reading Order tool. The view on the document changes. Now only the table is selected on the document and it's in a different color. Move the cursor to a table header cell and right-click in the cell. Select Table Cell Properties from the menu. This opens the Table Cell Properties window, where you can change the type of cell it is. Select Header Cell. Then click OK. That cell is now a header. The same process needs to be done to the other table header cells. If the table has many header cells, that process might take a long time. Instead, use the mouse to click and drag all the header cells to select them at once. Right-click on any selected cell. The Table Cell Property window opens. Repeat the process. Select Header Cell and then OK. Now all the header cells selected at once are tagged as headers. Something that can make it easier when working on tables is to have cell tag labels appear. To do this, right-click on any cell of the table and select Table Editor Options. The Table Editor option window appears, and check the Show Cell Type checkbox. And you can also change the color of the table when it opens in the Table Editor. Click OK. The table now shows all labels on each cell. Right-click on the table item with the error in the Accessibility Checker panel. Then select Check Again from the menu. The checker rechecks the table for table headers. Some content tagged as annotations might need to be properly tagged and be part of the document structure. Annotations on PDFs like editorial marks or comment fields should be marked as backgrounds with the Reading Order tool. Sometimes links will show up as annotations because they sit on top of the text and are not tagged within the document structure. In this example, element 1 in the Accessibility Checker panel is the first link on the document. To fix these links, they will need to be tagged. Let's begin. Right-click on Element 1, select Show in Content Panel from the menu, and the Content panel opens. The item will be listed under Annotations. Right-click on the page number above the annotations, select Find from the menu. The Find Element window opens. In the drop-down, select Unmarked Links. Then click Find. The Element 1 link is selected on the document. It's the first link it found as unmarked. Now click the Tag Element button on the same window. The new tag window opens. Select Link from the drop-down and type in a title in the title field. Click OK. The Find Element window reappears and selects the next unmarked link on the document. Repeat the same process. Click Tag Element button, select the link from the drop-down, add a title, and click OK. This link is now tagged and the next unmarked link is found. When all unmarked links are found and tagged, the Find Completed window opens. Click OK. The Find Next and Tag Element buttons are now grayed out because the find was completed. Click Close. Rerun the checker to verify tag annotation errors pass. The background or artifacts option on the reading order tool can be used to remove unnecessary tags. Some PDFs might have extra tags. You might think extra tags will make it better for screen readers, but in reality these extra tags mostly repeat information to screen reader users, making it frustrating for them. Sometimes figures that are tagged with alt text should be changed to decorative or made backgrounds instead. In this example, when the reading tool is selected, the figure at the top of the page has no alt text and will show up listed as missing alt text error in the accessibility checker panel. We can easily add the alt text with the reading order tool, but is it necessary for this image to have an alt text? This image is a block of color with a logo used as a background for the title of the document. The title is also tagged separately and it's the same name as the logo. So this image can be considered decorative because it's not conveying information or adding value to the content. Many of these decisions about tagged figures on PDFs will be a judgment call. You will need to consider if the figures need alt text or if they can be marked backgrounds. If a figure is conveying information that is not already mentioned on the document, then the figure will need to be tagged and have alt text. But for the ones that can be backgrounds, use the reading order tool to quickly mark them as backgrounds and untag them from the document structure. To do this, select the image by clicking on its tag label. Then select Background on the reading order tool. The tag is removed from the image. The same should be done for images that have alt text but don't add value to the content. You can select multiple tags at once with the reading order tool by holding the Shift key and clicking on the multiple images. Then mark them as background. The tags are removed. Empty tags with no content can also be removed with the reading order tool. Select it and mark it as a background. The empty tag is removed. Figures that show as having other elements alternate text errors can also be cleared from the accessibility checker panel. Use the reading order tool to select the image, then mark it as a background. To recheck for accessibility, right-click on these items and select Check Again. Secure documents can affect the accessibility of a PDF. Certain security settings may restrict screen readers from accessing content. Review the security settings on a PDF by going to File, Document Properties, and clicking on the Security tab of the window. Review the restrictions the document allows and does not allow. Be aware that although PDFs can be secured, they can also be made unsecure by most third-party applications. Scanned documents can become accessible but need extra help. Scanned PDFs are produced as images of text, which cause the text not to be selectable, searchable, or readable by screen readers. Some scanned content like signatures, handwriting, or text that is heavily distorted, usually the case with poor quality scans, would not be recognized or tagged. Use the OCR feature in Acrobat to have the text recognized and tagged as text. The OCR tool appears on the top of the document in the toolbar. Click on Recognize Text on the toolbar and select in this file. The text gets tagged and is now readable for screen readers. However, some extra work might be required to fix accessibility issues. In this example, the logo is split into multiple parts and has other elements alt text errors. With the Reading Order tool, select the entire logo. Then, tag it as a figure. Other figures on the PDF might need to be marked as backgrounds. Add the alt text. Right-click on the image. Select Edit Alt Text. Add the alt text. Click OK. The figure becomes one image and has alt text. Recheck for accessibility errors. A good practice is to always double check for accessibility on PDFs. Don't rely 100% on the checker. Manually check tags and their reading order with the Reading Order tool. In this example, the accessibility checker did not report any errors. However, when looking at the tags with the Reading Order tool, there are many tags that can be removed or retagged as a different structure. Always remember to double check for accessibility. Thank you for watching this presentation.